In the world where now skills pay the bills, everyone can opt to either become a gamer or a trader, but they all both chase the same dream: 10,000 hours. It is more than just a phrase. It is grinding in the blindness to try to put the sadness away. So now within this video, we are going to break it bit by bit to what does it take to grow from an amateur to a full professional master. So welcome to this series. So to my fellow Cloud Society and fellow traders across the world, it has been a while since you have seen my face on YouTube, but that is simply because I was reorganizing and repackaging every single component to how we are going to expand this community brand across the globe. And this is purely inspired by Alex Hormozzi's strategy. So one thing I've realized is the progression that I had within the world of trading, the confidence that I've built there, I thought I could just transfer it immediately into the world of becoming a content creator. And that's when I realized, although no matter how good and amazing my content was, I am not growing. So do you now see? Regardless of what we do, we will always face the same conjunction and we will also face the same hiccups to make us either believe in the pursuit of our dream or to then believe in the lack of our own capability. So to put this video up front, you must know what is this all about. So today is the very first day that I am launching what we are calling it as the Trader's Dilemma series, whereby all the questions, the titles that are being curated by this video is purely generated by the community members themselves. So within that being said, just because you have a great question, I will not simply take it simply because I do not know the source of this person and the source of the question. Is it either a question that they really want to know, or is it a question that they just ask for fun? So then I realized, in the growth perspective of anything that we do in life, value has to be there. So the approach to this method and the approach to this series is I will also credit who gave us this question. So now let's have an understanding of the man behind the question. His name is Mr. Juan Wu. So now let's jump into Mr. Juan Wu golden question that will start off this series of the trading dilemmas, or the trader's dilemma. He asked us, please talk about loss, anomaly in trading, and how to avoid ego in trading. Also upon that, how do I anticipate unnecessary loss? And how do I take the choice of not trading at a certain period of time? Basically, he summed it up. How do I know when to stop or pause because of the market turbulence? So understanding the question, we first understand that Mr. Juan has 1 year at least worth of experience with me personally, and prior to that we do not know how many hours he have placed. So this question is being asked by a trader who has at least put 50 to 100 hours into their craft. So if you think this is not a valuable question, you might need to reconsider what do you think is valuable. So within this video, we are going to break it down into 3 major components that we are going to expand it upon. So this video is inspired by Malcolm Gladwell on his terminology or topic of the outlier, whereby he believed for a person, a normal individual human being, to grow from a novice to a master, it takes at least 10,000 dedicated hours into the craft. So when I heard about this understanding, that's when I realized becoming a master in anything requires firstly the hours within it. For example, I am an avid gamer. I spent 6 to 8 hours gaming when I was 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I will squeeze some time of my day to play the game so that I can escape my life. But what I realized was, because I played so well, I become good, and from becoming good, I become better. And as I grow through that, I realized I am placed upon harder and harder players across the world. But one thing I've realized is, if I was about to enter the match and if I checked out his profile and I saw his hours, and if the gap difference between his hours played and mine was 100 hours and more, there is a 99.9% chance that I will lose that game match with him. So then I realized, although we are good, but there will be always someone better that have simply achieved mastery because they have put in the hours within it. So when we are becoming traders, one thing we tend to forget during the pursuit of money is the logical steps of approach. Now let's take a step back. If I scroll through my Telegram, I will see 1,000 sadness messages, wanting to suicide, wanting to quit, wanting to give up, and all this kind of negativity belief within themselves. But I always ask this one question to them: how long have you been trading? So this is when I realized some traders or many traders across the world are very disappointed with their result, but they have not taken a logical step of approach to build their confidence by firstly understanding basic data that exists. For example, across the world, we can see there are a lot of famous traders that have achieved crazy wealth. Some can be questionable, some we can feel it's authentic. From the Lambos to the Yachts to the Bugatti to the McLarens, I know some of them are real and some of them are just making money out of people's money. If you ever want to become like them, regardless of how they made the money, we ask firstly, your hours versus their hours, what is the difference? Most of you guys have placed less than 100 hours. So now we are going to go to understand the basic principle of going from zero to good, from good to great, from great to a master. Anyone in this world, if you don't believe me, take up your auntie, your brother, your sister, give her 20 hours worth of watching material of a certain topic, regardless. You want it to be Forex, crypto, Bitcoin, stock markets, or even becoming an AI artist, a copywriter. Give them 20 hours worth of material. What will happen to them? They will go from not knowing anything to becoming good. They can answer all the basic questions. They can have a very good form of comprehension. But then, can they even compete in the market? Let's say if they feel like they want to become an AI artist. Is their work worth being paid for? Can they reap the rewards of their hours placed? I believe you, never. But they might be able to get $10, $20, $30. So do you see, no matter what craft you pick, how the universe blesses you back is somewhat aligned with the hours you place. So this is a reminder to all the traders out there. This is the first topic, firstly, on how to avoid the ego in trading. But the second question now comes in. How many hours do you put your craft into each tool or weapon or approach? Because one thing I've realized is, in this vast world of Forex, you have to understand each strategies will have its own path of learning, of making the mistakes, of readjusting your strategy, and then completing it into a mastery form of approach that later on in life you can use it for yourself and maybe sell it to others. So now, all of you have to agree on one thing. You have wasted all these hours that you could have placed into one tool that could develop you to become a master. So accept that stupidity, because only then you can move tomorrow with a new game plan. So now this is the action plan that I want you to take. First, you have to pick a strategy that you know is somewhat powerful. So I can recommend to you a few. Elliott Wave. There was a guy who actually made the millions and successes within that theory. So meaning to say, if you can dedicate 10,000 hours figuring out what the fuck is this all about, then maybe you'll become a master of the Elliott Wave. I didn't like it. I tried it. It's too confusing. There's too many A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. So it's not my thing. But then, what else is there? There is what we call the basic support and resistance format, whereby you just wait for a breakout and the strategy is to take an entry on the retest, and if it succeeds, it succeeds. If it hits the SL, it hits the SL. So from that strategy, you usually will refine it to make your risk to reward much rewarding. Or you can move into using, for example, EMA by combining the EMA 12, 24 and 50, and then finding the tune on how to become a master in using this indicator to determine the direction of the currency that you are trading. Or number 4, you can go into the BBMA. I personally know of a guy called Neo. He trades so fucking well using BBMA, but for me, it doesn't work. But it works well for him. So now, pick one and commit to building the hours that you need. So it took me at least 5 to 6 hours of research to compose this video to make it at least worthwhile. So now let's end this video by saying thank you to our community member Mr. Juan Wu for providing us this question that we could build upon it. So now welcome to the first episode of the Trader's Dilemma. Charts and trends constantly vary, but with grit and grind, legends we carry. This is Mr. Cloud signing out of your life. Bye bye.